Alright, so this is how I teach the lesson for the introduction to the paint program. I always start out with the pencil tool, so we all click on the pencil and then we just start scribbling all over our page. And then I ask the kids to stop and ask them what color they are scribbling with and tell them, hey, the world's really boring if it's just black and white, so we need more colors. So with my kindergarten and first and second grades, I just teach them the basic colors that are over here. So we click on a different color and we scribble on our page some more. And then we stop and we scribble some more. If I am teaching an upper grade, a third or fourth grade or above, I always go to the edit colors and I teach them how to custom make a color. And I talk about how we put the little cross right here on the color that we want, and then we can add more white or more black to the color depending on where we move it. And I think that's kind of a pretty color, so we're going to click on Add to Custom Colors, click on OK, and then we're going to do this again. Then we're going to stop. After about 4 different colors, it pretty much fills the page up, and so I have the kids come over to the eraser tool and I have them start erasing. And I let them erase for a couple of seconds, and then I say, you know what, this is really going to take a long time and we don't have that kind of time. So we need to think about different ways that we can clear our page. Well, today in the first lesson, I only teach them how to come up here and get on a new page. So then we talk about that we don't want to save what we have on our screen. So we click on Don't Save and we get a brand new white clean screen. The next thing that I teach them is the paintbrush. And we just draw lines right across our page, except for the calligraphy ones, and I have them do kind of waves so that they can see that the pens have an angle to them and that they are opposite of each other. Spray paint. We talk about how the spray paint tool is not a very good tool to use if you are trying to make a solid shape that you would like to fill in. Sorry. And then when I get to this tool with the marker, I always go to a different color, and I explain that if they use the marker tool that they can lightly go over the top of what they have already drawn and they can see through it. And then I explain that if they go really heavy over it, they won't be able to see through it. Then we do the colored pencil, and I have them compare the colored pencil to the pencil that we started with, and typically they always tell me that this one is not as dark as the other one. And then last we do the watercolor. And with the oil and the watercolor, I explained that just like if you were painting with a regular paintbrush, you would run out of paint, just like with the two of these. Then we get a new page. And then the next thing that I teach them is the line tool. And I just have them draw some crazy lines on their page, just to make sure that they know how to use it. And then after we do that, I have them draw or get a brand new page and then draw some bendy lines where it's the same kind of tool that the other one is. The only difference is that once you've made it, you go back into the middle and you can bend it twice. And then you also have to explain that once you have done this, you have to go to the outside of this box to be able to create another line. And you can make little loop-de-loops. Like that with this tool as well. New page. Next tool that I teach is the circle tool. And with the circle tool, the first thing that I do is I teach them, first of all, just how to make circles. And I show them that they can overlap, and have them draw a couple of circles on their page. The next thing that I teach them is how to come over here to the fill tool. So we click on the fill tool and I have them change to a different color and then randomly put those colors in wherever they feel like it. So now we have a whole bunch of circles that are filled in with our fill tool. So now they've learned the circle tool and the fill tool. Then I have them practice using their circle tool to build something. So we get a new page and then we are going to build a snowman. And I talked to them about how if we made a white snowman on a white background, it would be invisible because you can't see it. So I always encourage them to either make a different colored snowman, think outside the box, or to change the color of their background. So I'm going to change it to blue. Then I want my circles to be white, so I need my color 1 to be white. Then I'm going to come over to my circle tool, and if I were teaching this to a 3rd or 4th grade class, I would teach them how to use the outline with the different types, and I would also teach them how to use the fill. So I'm going to go ahead and switch that. And if you were using this fill right here, that is your color 2, and your color 2 is also whatever your right mouse button is. So then we just create a little snowman. And I challenge the kids when I do this. Oh, I made a mistake. Undo button is the most wonderful thing ever. And so is the fill tool. Oh, I've made a mistake. It's okay, because I can click on the new button, get a new page, and I can start all over again. Hopefully I can get it right this time. Circle tool. Alright, my mistake last time is a common mistake that most kids make. So what you're going to want to do is make sure that they click outside of that box to get the highlight off of that. Then you can switch colors. And I encourage the kids to use only the circle tool, the fill tool, and the color tool to make their creation. So I'm just using the circle tool. Oh, I made a mistake again. So I'm just using the circle tool, the fill tool, and the color tool to create this. Brown for the arms. And if you want to get a little bit more creative, you can put some buttons on, make some red buttons. Let's do black outline on them. You can also do other things like hats using just the circle tool. You can also make a scarf. Let's make a little red scarf. I feel a little bit like Bob Ross in this. Okay, so there is a snowman. The students have practiced using the circle tool and the fill tool, and that concludes the end of this lesson.